All right, I want to add one more thing to this right here. So this resource utility right here, I want to be able to filter out some of the data. So for example, suppose I just want the ones with the populations greater than, let's see here, greater than 10,000. Let's say I'm interested in that. Populations greater than 10,000. Seems awfully small. Okay. So let's make sure. Yeah, let's say I wanted to do that. Okay. Again, I don't want to do the logic out here once the data. I want to do the logic before I get it here. Okay. So let's add one more parameter to our resource utility. And that parameter will be here. And in order to filter out here, I'm going to use what is called a predicate, okay? And I'm just going to call that rules, okay? That's what I'm going to call it for now. Now that predicate is going to take in a data type of t. T represents that model. In our case, this will represent the state, okay? And this is all I have to do. So the goal of a predicate is to return something based if it's true or false. So right after the map, it's got to be after the map because this is after the conversion is done and is converted to a t. Okay, in this case, it's going to be a state. So I'm going to say here, um, filter. Filter takes in a predicate, and I called it rule here. Let me just call it predicate actually. Predicate, and I'm going to put predicate there. Okay, even though it's one line, let me just break this down into multiple lines so it's just easier to read. Okay, so usually this is the way I see it in documentation where they just separate into separate lines like that. Okay, so we're skipping whatever lines that we need to skip. We then do a conversion. Based on that conversion, we can do a filter. Okay, this is telling me this is a problem because somewhere else it can't reach this. So I'm going to fix all of these guys. Let me create one more method here for a second. Give me a second. I'm going to say here Control V. Let's see here. So this took in a name. Good. Now this took in 1, 2 parameters. This should have taken 1, 2. In fact, I should make this actually take 3 parameters. So I'm going to say here, this should have taken a map. Not a map, I'm sorry, a function. And I'm going to say here, we should have taken in a string and returned a t. And I'm going to call that map. In order to use this t, I'll have to define it here after. Okay, that stopped complaining now. And then here, I'm going to pass this to map. Oh, sorry, I want to pass it like this. Map. Okay. All right, so now this takes in 3 parameters. This takes in a file name, a skip, and a map. And then I pass the map to here. This is complaining now because I added a 4th parameter, and I'm just going to give it a default value of E like this, and it returns a true. Okay, let's see. That's complaining. Why is this complaining? List of T. Okay, I'm going to change that to null for a second just to see No, it doesn't like that either. So what am I doing wrong? I'm going to see what this is doing wrong here. This gets the file name. That's the file name here. This is the skip. This is the skip here. Function is the conversion, the map, which is this guy right here. And then I added a predicate. Predicate takes in a t. I put the t here. And this is complaining still at the wrong signature. So you know what? I'm going to delete this for a second. I think I'm having a code freeze here. I'm not sure what it's looking for. And this is also, let me fix this first then. Okay, so this now takes in 4 parameters. So this is complaining. So I'm going to do comma here. I'm going to say here p is equal to true. Okay, that works now. So this is going to handle this function here. Now this function is complaining because I think I broke something on the outside. So let me close, I'm going to close all tabs. I think I broke one of my tests. Yes, this test is complaining now because this method doesn't exist anymore. I need a method that takes in 1, 3 parameters here. So let me bring up my to resource ability here and see why this is complaining. Oh, they're all complaining. Look at that. All right. I don't want this video to be too long, so I'm going to stop it here and then we'll fix it in the next